Today, I want to talk about what is the nature of love. You've heard me say, or if you've read my book, that love is the awareness and acceptance of our wholeness. It's the awareness and acceptance and wholeness of others. It's the awareness and acceptance and wholeness of life. But that's maybe too far out for most of us to grasp. So I want to take it and I want to look at love and break it down. In human experience, love can be broken down into many categories. And I know that's what we do. And I've been getting a lot of questions from people and saying, well, Lee, how do I break this down? How do I look at love? I've got this aspect, that aspect. Well, today I thought we'd look at that. The first type of love I want to look at is the one that we were so conditioned to, and that is romantic love. This portrayal of love is characterized by deep emotional and physical attraction between partners. It involves passion, intimacy, and commitment. Romantic love can lead to a long-term partnership and is often associated with an intense feelings of joy and desire. Do you remember meeting that first person when you fell in love and you thought love was that and it was just pure infatuation? I go back to when I met my wife. Man, I was physically attracted to her. We thought in the same line. Our emotions were aligned with each other. We were talking deep conversations. You know what? We would both come off of other relationships that weren't that great. And then we realized there was something special here, but we said we weren't going to get involved. And then from that moment on, we never dated another person. Within 4 months, I'd proposed and she'd accepted. And there were just these tremendous feelings of joy and constant desire to be with each other. Let me tell you, though, that infatuation, it wears off. Took a little while, but you start getting caught up in daily living. Finishing college, because we were married and we were still in college. Working in the evenings, working the night shift to have money to live. Then going out after finishing college, getting a career. And then things just change. Doesn't mean there's not an attraction. It changes. And that's something that I realized about love, is I realized that romantic love changes. And I don't label it as good or bad. I label it as part of the process. Another type of love is platonic love. The portrayal of love, of being platonic, exists between friends. It's based on mutual respect, shared interest, emotional closeness, without romantic or sexual attraction. It has a deep bond and a sense of loyalty. This is your best friends. The only difference here between platonic and romantic love is you've taken out the sexual attraction. So, I have some very deep friends. My prayer partner, Marcia, we were prayer partners for 15 years. I loved her with my whole heart and being. But there was nothing sexual with us. It was something that both of us consciously chose. Because we were both in marriages and we were committed to our partners. And we realized that we did have something special. But it was not that special where we would spend our lives together. And this is platonic love. It's special. Think about the number of friends you have, best friends. Less than a handful. But you have shared interests. You have mutual respect. There's a closeness that when you're with each other, you know it's special. And there's a deep bond and there's a loyalty there. That's my friend Reverend Robert. Reverend Robert is in hospice. He is on his way making his transition. He's been suffering from, not Hodgkinson's, Huntington's disease. No, that's not it either. It's not important. But he's moving on. I'm with him every day. I talk with him. I'm going to be with him and meditate with him and pray with him at least once a week as he makes his transition. Why? Because we have a friendship of deep love and deep commitment. And I'm loyal. I know he's loyal as well. And so it's a beautiful thing. The next type of love is familiar love. This aspect of love is between family members such as parents, children, and siblings. This type of love is rooted in shared experiences and a sense of belonging. Now, familiar love, it may not just be your biological family. You may create an extended family. I know that to be the case. There are several people in my life that I consider a part of my extended family. And it's important that we honor that. It's not just blood. It's so much more than that. So when you understand that, life takes on an even deeper meaning. Because sometimes the people that you're born into, the family you're born into, you really don't have a lot in common with them after a while. And you know what? That's okay. The next type of love I want to talk about is the one I think is the most important. It's self-love. This aspect of love involves having a healthy self-image, a recognition of one's worth, and one that assumes personal responsibility for taking care of one's own needs. It's essential for personal well-being and forming healthy relationships with others. In other words, everything begins and ends with self-love. You can only love someone to the degree that you love yourself. You can never love anyone more than you love yourself because you can only give what you give to yourself. The more you love yourself, the more you accept yourself, the more you can love and accept another. It's fascinating that when you talk to counselors who are dealing with battered and abused women or men, you realize they will only allow someone to abuse them to the degree that they self-abuse. If someone goes beyond the degree that they mentally or emotionally self-abuse themselves, they will stop at that point. Self-love is the ability to look at your uniqueness and accept yourself as you are, mentally, emotionally, physically, all aspects of life. Can you look in the mirror and look at yourself in your life, your whole life, your body, your mind, your past, your present, every situation you've been in, and can you say, I accept you. I accept everything about you. Or do you judge? Judgment immediately takes you out of love, and it doesn't matter what form of love we're looking at. The next aspect of love is compassionate love. This is where one extends empathy and concern for others, demonstrating in acts of kindness. It can be directed towards anyone, including strangers, and is central to many philosophical or spiritual teachings. When you see someone, all you have to do is smile. That's compassionate love. Do I have concern for others? You bet I do. I give to a charity called Opportunity International. This charity gives small microloans to people in third world countries to help them maybe buy a cow to start a business or something of that nature. I understand that some people are born in places where they don't have the resources. And by my giving, I support them and I demonstrate it through acts of kindness. I also participate in another charity called the Sankara Eye Foundation, where they go into the remote areas of India, and for $30, they perform surgery on someone who is blind and give them back sight in one eye. What a gift. Living compassionately is also seeing people around you and realizing and understanding that they're suffering. And you may not be able to fix their suffering, but you can be kind to them. You can be empathic to them. You can try to understand where they're coming from. But here's something I'll say about that. You don't lower your vibration to be like them. That doesn't serve anybody. You hold your high vibration. You understand where they are. And be kind to them. And if you can support them, you'll take the right effort. What then are the key aspects, as I call unconditional love, or better yet, true love? A love without judgment. You see, you've got all these others that we've just talked about. We've talked about romantic love. We've talked about platonic love. We've talked about familiar love. We've talked about self-love. And we've talked about compassionate love. But what about a love without judgment? True love accepts a person as they are without trying to change them. It embraces both a person's strength and weaknesses. I don't know about you, but I struggled with this one, not only for myself, but for my wife. I knew I could change her and make her into the best image of Lee, what Lee wanted. Guess what? That was denying my wife Jean's right to create her unique self the way she wanted. You see, no one's here to please you. Everyone's here to expand and grow and have greater experiences of life. Once I started to accept Jean as she was and accept her strengths and her weaknesses, guess what? Our relationship became easy. Here's another thing. When I started to accept myself as I am, my strengths and weaknesses, it was much easier to live with me. True love seeks to understand the reason for a person's actions or feelings, offering empathy rather than criticism. Realize that every individual that you meet is going to be unique and different. No one is going to see the world the way you do. So in my life, if I average 60,000 thoughts a day, which is what psychology says, based on my number of years, I've had over 1.5 billion thoughts in my life. Now, my wife, being the same age, or close to the same age, has had 1.5 billion thoughts as well. Man, I don't know why she does anything, but I seek to understand. And when I ask inquiring questions about understanding, rather than criticizing the behavior, I'm expressing true love. I'm showing an interest in who they are so I can better support that person in growing and becoming more. True love provides support and encouragement, supporting an individual's growth without making them feel inadequate. If you've heard me talk, you understand that I believe the only reason to be in a relationship is to support and grow each other, to share, and to have fun. Now, if your partner asks for feedback, be more than willing to give it, but give honest feedback that would benefit them, not you. You see, true love is about letting that person find their power, find their joy, find their meaning in life. And you're there like a cheerleader, encouraging them and supporting them in ways that they want. I always ask my partner or my sons or my friends, how can I support you? I never ask the question, how can I help you? Asking the question, help, means they can't do it. But I know they can. Everyone can, because we all come from the same source. So I ask the question, how can I support you? True love focuses on caring for the well-being of others by providing a safe place where they can be their authentic selves without fear of judgment. I don't care what relationship you're involved with, whether it's family, whether it's friends, whether it's your lifelong partner, whether it's people you don't know, people that I'm teaching a class to, or people that are in class with me, where I'm a student. Creating a safe place where people can grow and expand without fear of being judged is one of the greatest gifts you can give yourself and you can give others. This is a loving environment. And if you have a home, whether it's an apartment, a home, whatever, you want that home to feel safe. I know I do. I can't imagine anyone not doing that. A true loving relationship embraces the ideals of acceptance and empathy. It creates a nurturing environment where individuals feel valued, understood, and connected. And again, with no fear of being judged. Do you see the common theme here? Love and judgment cannot coexist. If you're judging, there's no love. If you're loving, there's no judgment. And we come back to my all-encompassing definition of love. This is everything I've studied over the course of my entire life into one paragraph. Love is the awareness and acceptance of our wholeness, the wholeness of others and life. As pure awareness, love is never dependent on anything. It is a state of being where judgment and desire do not exist, as these states are incomplete and can never be satisfied. Realize that any time you have a desire, it's going to be emotional or sensory. And no matter what you do, your emotional desires and your sensory desires will always feel complete, no matter how much you feed them. A simple example is, have a potato chip. Can you stop at one, or do you want more? And even if you finish the full bag, you may be bloated, but you still crave. Remember, love is the awareness and acceptance of your wholeness. You were created unique. You're perfect as you are. All the power to experience life is within you. When you embrace this, you will know true love for yourself. Then you can give it to others and to life. I invite you to discover true love within your heart today.